Hi everybody, this is Brandon from PSA Games. Welcome to the video. So, I was trying to figure out what to do for a video. It's like, no, I've done a lot of work. Here, wait a minute. I'm scrolling too fast. There's just all these freaking sprites I've done. And I haven't done a video for a while, and a part of it is, well, I've been permanently removed from Twitter. And none of my appeals have worked, and I almost don't feel compelled to do any videos. Not that they were being seen that much anyways. That's not really the point. Point is I gotta find a job and an income, and I don't know about the whole Twitter ban thing. I really wish I hadn't. I'm not even supposed to talk about it. Anyways, I'll probably get banned from YouTube too if I talk about it. So, anyways, I'm going to start with these sprites. We're going to make them big. Hopefully this thing cooperates with us. Zoom in. And it might stay zoomed in for the next frame, or it might not. This viewing program was clearly made by Bill Gates, and it doesn't work as good as the one on Windows 7 did. So, anyway, so the blue skin lady here, this is Rose, and she has a counterpart named Ash, and stay zoomed in. You did it before. So yeah, these are two, I'm going to use a word we're all familiar with. They're guardian angels. They're under the employ of, what you might call God or Source. And they watch over you, and, a few parts in the game they intervene with your life, and they might even unlock some of your chakra abilities, which is really nice. She plays a lot of different characters. One of them is one of the villain Gilbate's daughters. Now she's the one who's actually she takes on more of the mean-spirited side of the family. Whoops. Whoop. Oh yeah, this guy. So this guy, his name is Ox. He lives in a tool shed underneath the Gilbates property, and when you arrive, he's already learned that Gilbates is a bad person, so he actually forges for you a sword that's capable of destroying his barrier, and he leads you to an interesting dream sequence, which we'll see something about here in a minute. I won't try to spoil too much. Your typical baby sprite, typical guy, colored fellow. He plays multiple roles, but one of them is he's actually really smart. He's into conspiracy theories, and yeah, we'll just play my game. So this was the original sprite for a character named Brandon, not based off of me. More like a Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, but I found he looks better this way. This brown hair. And different colored eyes. So he's one of two hitchhikers you meet that join your party, and yep. Stoner. Here's the lead female son, Braden. Typical little... When I was a pup, parents let their boys grow long hair, and we got mistaken for girls, so I guess I have a feeling that might be the case here. Alright, so we get into a few of these Brotherhood people. So the Brotherhood is the secret society that's in control of everything in my game. This is a lower ranking guy. He plays a few different roles, but most of them are teachers within the school where they're brainwashing children for ill purposes, which I won't go into here. Let's play the game. Oh gosh. Alright, so here's a guy. This is the only graphic for this one guy. So this is Horus. Yes, named after the sun god Horus, the Eye of Horus. He's actually one of the Brotherhood people who get away. I figured if I'm going to have a sequel, some of them have to get away. So this is the guy who's smart and selfish enough to get away. You never actually fight the guy. He wears purple, the color of royalty, and orange, the color of Freemasonry, or at least 33rd degree Freemasonry, as I understand. I could be wrong about that. Now this is a as of yet to be named character. She only appears in a scene if you get a certain ending. There's good endings. I wouldn't call it a neutral ending. It's more of it completes a train of thought ending, and then there's a couple of bad endings. one of the right bad endings. You know, it looks like she's under the service of the Pope or whatever, and that's where the second game would take place. It would take place in the Vatican, probably mostly. You know, this guy's not important enough to talk about. You know, the brothers have a lot of these girls here that are dressed almost in a military way. Play a bunch of different roles. Oh, here's this is one of my favorite guys. And this is Goldman. And he's one of the Brotherhood members you actually fight. And he's got his little Masonic compass going on there. And his dialogue's actually pretty funny. And here's Rommel, lower ranking Brotherhood guy. He's kind of in charge of what's going on at the hospital when you go there to save your little girlfriend. See, these are Templars. You fight them when you find the temple under the school. They're all neutered females. According to the Brotherhood logic, neutered females make better soldiers than men do. And yeah, they're actually much stronger than most of the male opponents you do fight in the game. This is the wrong palette for this guy. One of the uses of this guy, he's Mylon, which wears green instead of blue, but we'll say more about him later when we get to the other characters that are associated with him. Here's Trapes. Well, actually, a lot of these Brotherhood members are either direct or indirect descendants of Vlad the Impaler. That's why they like to drink blood and sacrifice people and drink or take adrenochrome and stuff like that. This is the one you fight under the Gilbates mansion that goes Akira on you and like loses control of his transformation and transforms into like the nuttiest thing hopefully you'll ever see. And it's just a chef. Okay, so yeah, there's a dream sequence in game. You start from heaven and you slowly descend to hell in like a 5-tier process. You get to the 4th tier and it's basically a destroyed room where there's just broken liquor bottles and all kinds of crap everywhere, and you're like, what am I doing here? And just like the Cheshire Cat, your friend manifests into reality, much like the Cheshire Cat. And the fun little exchange there. I won't spoil too much about that. So here's our papal figure, or pope, or whatever. You only see him once in my game. That's only if you get a certain ending. And he will most likely be used in the sequel. There's your cops wearing their protective vests and all that fun stuff. Fight a lot of these guys. Okay, here's a hidden character. This guy's kind of an Easter egg because the first game... Oh, you know what? I need to make a note here. I just noticed, you see the little white spot there in his mouth? That's not supposed to be there, and the only reason why I'm seeing it is because this new version of Windows 10 I downloaded displays things in black, so you know what? I hated that at first, but now I see an advantage of it. I actually found several. There will be several more of these. I just, for some reason, missed this one the last time when I was doing a practice run of this video, so let's go ahead and make a mental note here. And we need my keyboard. Keyboard time. Hey, yeah. What's going on? We need a keyboard. It's a deaf, a pot-smoking alien has white spot under mouth inside you. Alright, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and keep that open in case we need it again. I mean, I'm kind of really glad I've been doing this because I found all these little errors. Okay, so why did you zoom out? Come on, Bill Gates, can't you program anything? And what the hell is that frickin' arm thing doing? That wasn't there before. I mean, seriously. No, I've played through the game. This never appears. So, am I being hacked? I'm probably being hacked. It's gotta be it. I'm sure I would have noticed that on my 15,000 playthroughs of the frickin' game since I've designed this character. Alright, well, Dr. Himmler, based off of a Nazi, and yes, this guy's a Nazi, he's part of the Brotherhood too. Since he's in charge of what's going on at the hospital, or at least the experimental side of everything. Has arm on front view. What the fuck? Okay. This is going to embarrass me. I'm gonna freaking not lie. I'm gonna probably wind up being embarrassed over this stuff. Alright, let's go full screen like this. Alright, let's see. Typical girl character. These are the cyborgs that patrol the school when you go there to save the kids. They are not too... Actually, there's a funny joke involving them. So here's a rarely used NPC in my game. If you get the right good ending, she ends up being the daughter of the lead lady and the lead guy. I'm actually thinking about having her be the lead for the sequel, where she's the one who goes to the Vatican and puts an end to tyranny, kind of a deal. But, pretty, isn't she? Another rarely used NPC. If you get a certain other ending, this is basically modeled after my dad, kind of. I mean, it doesn't look exactly like that. But, Dad, you're kind of in my game. I know your eyes aren't that color, but I found that the green eyes went really good with the reddish brown hair there, so that's what stuck. You got your skull and crossbones, Harley Davidson stuff. My dad was a biker. Alright. This guy, he's used in a few places, but his most important role is he plays the Way. That's what he calls himself. Basically, you find out that your lead lady has a micro tracking chip put into her, and you got to remove it before you get to the farmhouse, so the bad guys don't find the farmhouse, and you bump into this guy, and it gets kind of ridiculous. He makes a very weird shaped machine to remove it from your lady friend there. Some FBI people here. So when you save your friend from the HEMA camp, the only way to get into Goltha's office, and we'll see Goltha here later, you have to take an evaluation. And the joke is that the right answers on the evaluation are the most sick thing you can possibly think of. That's a hint. And, if you're planning on playing my game and I just told you that, remember that when you get to this part of the game. Pick the answer that is the most sick and disturbed if you want to pass the evaluation and actually be allowed access to the office. But yeah, there's Ms. Blight. Here's our HEMA soldiers, so you have to deal with these guys during the HEMA rescue mission. She's not important. She's not important. This one's kind of modeled after a friend. But we've seen a million girls that like this that have kind of that medium length hair, blue eyes, and they look like they're living the street life. We've all seen that. I don't know why there's two of them though. There's your old lady that appears multiple times now. There is no character in my game that's like Kenny from South Park, but I do have a character where, it might remind you of Kenny a little bit because he wears the hood over his head. Doesn't play any major roles. He doesn't play... Wait a minute. I see something. Is that seriously another white dot? Yeah, look at that. There are fucking white dots right there. And, I could play that off as it's an earring, I guess. But look, that's here in the hair, too. What the flamin' hell? Alright, note time. In one scene, he's... Alright. Let's call him Christopher B. Has white dots near head on all frames. Alright. That's another thing I gotta fix. This is why we take notes, people. And I would have never noticed this. In Windows 7, the way their photo displays photos, it shows it on the white background, so of course I'm not going to see things like that. Modeled off of another friend, Samuel Hartung, a little bit, except this is probably like a teenage version of him, because this is Rod. He's one of the kids you saved from the Bates mansion. He goes towards getting the good ending. Make sure you save him. Well, it's actually mandatory to save him. Just another generic guy. Oh, it's the Jew. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Why is it not zooming in? Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Yeah, it's a Jewish fella. Actually, this kind of looks like one of my brothers. Mike, does that look a little bit like you? I know you don't really dress like that, but I don't know. And I don't don't really have like a semi-mohawk, but I don't know. The shape of the face is kind of similar. Oh, here we go. So I went through 3 designs before I went with the final design for my hero character, and this is like the first or second one I made. I was kind of going for a Dr. Thompson-ish sort of thing. But yeah, he's hardly used. He's a part of the evaluation. There's a thing from the frickin' one of the crazy dream sequences. So this is like a girl you dated once and you broke her heart, and you're going through the dream sequence and you're in the hell version of it. You're in the sex hell where you find her and she has this rusted body and she's super depressed and she wants you to inject her with a drug or something, and you're like, oh no, I can't do that. This is fucking crazy. But yeah, you'll have to contend with that. I don't know, is that part of the hero's journey? Do you have to go through hell for the hero's journey? She isn't too important. There's actually a scene in the jail where one of these is in the jail and she'll scam you out of respect points. So the best thing to do is just not talk to her at all. I'm giving you hints, people. Gameplay strategies. Ah, here's my favorite character. Coolest guy in the world. Gil Bates. Oh gee, who's that? In this little Jesuit robe. You're just gonna love my new hex box. It's got some better graphics. And he's got like a pyramid with the sun rays on his back. Yeah, he's super nerdy and unpredictable, and oh my god, he's like the stupidest villains ever. Alright, here we go. So remember those blue-skinned angels from before? They work for this, which is quote-unquote God, but it is, and it also isn't. It's kind of hard to explain, and I'm not going to explain it here because my game thoroughly explains it. You know, this is based off my own near-death experience. I saw this blue-skinned woman-like being. I took some liberties, so I added wings with multiple eyes to represent omnipresence, and then 2 eyes on the back to represent duality, converging into a unity kind of thing. Here's one of the game's villain. Sorry. Another Brotherhood member. So this is Mr. Goltha. He's the guy who owns the Walmart family of stores, and that's Walmart spelled W-A-L-L-M-A-R-T. No copyright infringement, okay? Walmart, you try to sue me over this, we're going to have fun in court. It's going to be a ball. I'm going to pass the ball back and forth in that court. Just like on a tennis court or a basketball court. That's why it's called court, buddy. Here's an alternate design for the Pope. I'm probably not using this one because he's got hair. So this is probably like a clergyman. Again, this guy isn't really used too much in this game, but you can probably see him a lot more in the next one. Typical girl that serves no purpose. I mean, yeah, we gotta have a swimsuit lady. Avert your eyes, children. This is quote-unquote pornography. Well, wait. Come on. Why did it go back? Jail girl. Why did I make her hair blue? Are there any... Well, there are women in real life that have blue hair, but it's like they dyed it. And you got your jail guy. Actually kind of looks like my friend Elijah. Sorry, Elijah. I guess I made it till you went to jail. Baby. Okay. This is actually the wrong palette. But in game, there's a different version where the hair is closer to brown than it is yellow. This is the daughter of Gil Bates. This is a really funny scene. You're exploring the mansion. You're trying to find the villain. And you wander into a bathroom, and she just so happens to be bathing in there. I probably need to make a nude sprite for her, by the way. Don't worry, it won't show anything too revealing. She pretty much falls in love with you instantly. She even tries to seduce you, and you're like, no, I have a girl already and everything. But get one of the game's 2 good endings. You actually get your choice between, you know, the girl you've journeyed with, or you can choose this one. Choose the one that's been nice to you from the very start, or you choose the one that vanished from your life and only wanted you back into her life because she knew you would save her.
Oh, and plus she fully approves of you killing her father, by the way. She's just all about it. It's like, oh, you're going to kill my dad? That is so sexy. I just want you so bad. It's such a hilarious scene. Especially once you go through all the character development. And that makes more sense to you.
Lead lady's little daughter kind of talks the same way she does. One of my favorite kids, one of the kids you say from the school, his name's Dick Johnson. If you really want a good ending where humanity is given a better system, that being a resource-based economy, you gotta save this guy because he doesn't seem too smart when you first meet him, but as his character progresses, he becomes one of the smartest people on Earth. I liked writing for all these kid characters. I got to come up with some really cute dialogue now. So we have this little black girl. Now I feel kind of sexist. I don't feel racist, I feel sexist because I don't have a little black boy, so I might actually have to design one of those. Actually, I had a school teacher, like, if this little girl grew up, she'd probably look a lot like that school teacher. Miss Pontius, you're in my game. Here's this kid. And there's a funny thing about him. He's really confused and asks a lot of questions about sex. And he finds a porno magazine under the bed at the farm. And he starts asking you all these questions. You're like, whoa, wait. I don't know if I should be answering any of these yet. Little Alice. So she's this girl with an overactive imagination. And she thinks all of her ideas are original, but actually they're all inadvertently derivative. They're all like combinations of things. Like it's like a mix of Alice in Wonderland and Star Wars. You know, things like that. They're just like completely off the chain and unbelievable. But funny stuff with her. That winds up being Kaylee's boyfriend. Let's see here. This is Michaela and Penelope. Oh yeah, this guy. Another one of my favorite characters to write for. Actually, the only kid in the game to get like severely punished by being slapped across the face. It's because he's based off this kid my friend and I met in Olathe, Kansas. He was fishing in a little fishing pond at the apartment, and he caught this snapping turtle. He didn't know what it was until he got it close to the shore, and once he could see what it was, he started slamming his fishing pole down on top of the water, just super pissed off. And he's only like 8 years old or something like that. And he's like, God damn it, I fucking knew it. You're a goddamn fucking faggot turtle. And he kept repeating the fucking faggot turtle part over and over and over again. And my buddy and I are like, what the hell is this? Is this kid like been watching South Park since he was 4 or what? And then he went to stick his hand into the frickin' turtle's mouth. And we're like, no, not happening, buddy. We had to run over and stop him. Show him the right way to remove the hook. So you can't get mad at me for putting this kid in my game. It's just an observation. I thought it was funny. It's in there. I'm not taking it out just because of a word. Get over it. And what's this? Kitsune. So this is the Kitsune character based off of Twitter. K Dark Queen. I see there's a little spot there. Did I already make a mental note of this one? No, I did not. Let's make a mental note of it. So how come when I played the game, I guess it's because it's such a small set of pixels I'm probably not noticing. She appears in the Walmart scene, so the tiles are kind of the same color. That's probably why I didn't notice them. So he has pixels under feet. But why is it only that? Why is it only this one? This is a actual copy and paste. So this should have come out exactly the same. That almost makes no sense. Who's hacking my stuff, dudes? Seriously, who is hacking my stuff? This is the only character sprite in game, by the way, where she's always looking off to the side, no matter what. One of the Brotherhood villains. This is Lady Kaka. And yeah, I'm already aware of these ones. She was the first one I caught that had these extra pixels here. And that one's actually quite disturbing. It's like something's leaking out of her. Yeah, she's one of the bosses you fight and actually kill. And also here's Lauren. She's that Brandon hitchhiker from earlier, so this is his girlfriend. There's your best buddy. So this is the only party member who has actual military experience. Well, he's quite cynical. He's a faithful friend and companion. And he's got a lot of funny lines, too. This character is not in my game anymore. This is actually one of the characters for that bad sex dream sequence I told you about before I replaced it with deformed monsters. I don't know why I thought having a nun in there was a good idea, but as of now, there is no nun. If I can figure out a way to stick a nun somewhere, I guess I could put a church somewhere and maybe make it to where she's hanging out, you know, behind the pedestal or whatever. And maybe you encourage her to escape the city before it's too late. And she's like, no, I believe in God. This is the end times, and I get to go be home with the Heavenly Father. I'm not scared at all. Maybe that's what I'll do with her, but make the lines funnier. Yeah. Here's our nun that we're nun using. Nurses from the hospital. Funny joke. You enter the hospital and you think, oh my God, I'm going to get caught. You know, they're going to notice right away I don't belong here. But it turns out you apparently look just like a Dr. Johnson who had quit there recently, and the nurse sitting behind the receptionist desk notices. She's like, oh, Dr. Johnson, you're back. And that's how you're able to infiltrate the hospitals, because everyone thinks you're this Dr. Johnson. It's actually kind of a reoccurring thing where you're able to infiltrate places because of other people's lack of integrity, I guess. Shopkeeper and his wife. These are UN soldiers. You fight them several places in the game. This was the original Peace Wave. I think I use them somewhere else, maybe. But this is the new Peace Wave. I like this design much better. It's designed after my friend who passed away some time ago. Figured the best way to commemorate his death, especially since he commented so positively on my game demo. I'll make sure to put that in the comments below, but he told me it was like better than he expected and everything. And I was really sad that he died before I got the game done, because I know he would have loved the entire thing. Alright, here's the girl. You can save this girl at the Bates Mansion. She's not in the basement. She's in this other torture room elsewhere. And this torture room requires, oh my God, you gotta solve so many. It's like Resident Evil. It's basically an homage to Resident Evil, the mansion part. You need like 5 different items and puzzle solving situations to even get into this torture room. But if you save her, it affects the ending. You'll get an even better ending if you save her. Please save her. She's really quirky. There's a based off the Queen of England. So this is, I didn't name her after the Queen of England. I called her like Queen Saxon something something. So she's got like 50 names. Just call her Queen Saxon for now. She's one of the villains. Now here's our antagonist. This is Rashad. He's actually a combination of a few people I know. I just thought we needed a fire crotch in our midst. And this guy is just, I decided to be like the most irritating human being that could possibly exist. He's one of those kind of people that no matter how much bad he does and you tell him he's done bad, he uses these spiritual mental gymnastics to make it seem like it was your fault. And all this law of attraction stuff. It's like, no, shut the fuck up, buddy. He's involved with the game's ending too. I won't spoil too much, but something happens that makes you kind of want to kill this guy. Do you kill him or do you let him live? It affects the game's endings. Archibald, so here's our refined resident. This guy talks like a rich person. Alright, here's our super secret character. This guy's involved with the twist. That's why he's cloaked. He keeps his identity concealed throughout the course of the game. The thing he does mostly is whenever you're more concerned with saving friends than actually killing Brotherhood members, he magically shows up and kills those Brotherhood members for you. Why would he do that? Doesn't he look kind of like one of them? I mean, he's got the eye on the hood, kind of like some of the other ones do. Maybe he is a part of the Brotherhood. Now here's Saturn himself. The final area of the game is Saturn's cube, which is actually an interdimensional cube on the North Pole of Saturn. So it's actually a spirit realm. It's not a physical place. But when you fight Gil Bates in there, he actually tries to tempt you, and I actually set it up to where the wrong answer is the first answer. Pro tip, don't just hammer on the button to get through the dialogue. Actually read the dialogue and pay attention. My game rewards you for paying attention. Standard doctor, and this tells me I need to use GIMP. Actually, let's make a mental note of that. Bullet point.
gimped. Exclamation points.
I'm sure she was gimped at one point because I just test played this game, but maybe I went in there and made a change and I just don't remember doing that because my days are pretty hectic. I don't remember every little thing. Oh, here's our lead lady. There's going to be a bunch of different versions of this. I'm not done with this one yet. I thought it might be cute to make it to where different parts of the game she dresses differently. You know how girls like to change clothes, and she is kind of based off of a Pacific Northwest type girl, and those people change clothes like 10 times a day. Even the guys do. I know because I live there. I change clothes like 2 or 3 times a day. So I thought it might be cute to have a bunch of different little outfits for her. I might go through with that. It's going to create a lot more work, but it'd be nice. We'll skip past these ones. So yeah, here's another one we need to fix. So this is from the Final Dream, which is based in a sketch world. It looks like sketches on notebook paper. So a sketch version of her, which all I did was take the darkest tones and make them black and make all the lighter tones empty white space. And it makes it look like she's not wearing pants. But she is. She is wearing pants. It just looks like it isn't just because how things turned out. I don't know. So I'm going to use this for different poses for her. I want her to have like a condescending pose where she shakes her finger at you. And then we have this one down here I've already implemented where she lifts her shirt for the robot because she doesn't know it's a robot because it looks kind of human, and it ends up scrambling its circuits and it blows up, and it's kind of a funny scene. Alright, so this is more suitable. Just in there. Typical looking Asian guy. These are Gil Bates guards that guard around the mansion. Alright, so we got these 2 girls. Not this one. This is a different one. I'm talking about this one. So this one and this one. Oh, come on. Don't zoom out just because I went back. You save these 2 girls from the basement of the Gil Bates mansion, and they're behind a cell. You get the key, of course. And then you open the door, and the first thing they do is they run right up to you and pepper spray you and beat the holy living bejesus out of you. So you're a bloody pulp, and you explain to them, it's like, I'm actually here to save you all. You're like, no, you're not. You're here to rape us. And he ends up being long dialogue explaining to these girls that you're not there to hurt them. Here's our lead character. Here's a sketched version of him. Don't shrink again. Alright, you infiltrate the hospital.
They mistake you for Dr. Johnson, as I said before, but they tell you it's like, oh, but they relocated the uniform, so you decide, well, maybe I should wear a uniform and actually blend in. So this is the temporary sprite you get to be with him. You get one of the game's bad endings. Our hero becomes a villain. And this is his sprite. He has powers now. He can float. He doesn't need to walk anymore. Actually, I think this is a prototype for the previous one. I can probably delete this. No, actually, no. That's supposed to be a meditation pose. No, these are going to be like poses for him, I guess. I don't know if I'm really going to go through with that. It seems to be the same thing there. We got the naked version of them. This is something I sent to Kitsune, I think. Just going to do box art for the game. Now, why does this look so blurry? Why is this program so inconsistent? It displays things perfect and crisp, and other times it displays them blurry. Anyways, there's a dream sequence where you're kind of in an old school video game. This is the character sprite for you when you do that. There's your regular character sprite. There's some downed bodies. More down bodies. More down bodies. More down bodies. Oh, here's some original RPG Maker XP graphical assets. I'll probably be replacing those at some point. Oh, come on. Why did it zoom like that? Jesus Christ, just stay put. Whatever. This is ignorant. You see that? I was clicking on the zoom and it flipped over to the next one. I made sure to make their little down sprites look like to where they were maybe looking at each other in bed, you know, since there's a couple scenes kind of involved that. Now we're on to enemy sprites. Fight these guys outside of the city. They're roaming around the countryside. They're kind of the antithesis of the Death the Pot Smoking alien character, which is what this guy is, but this isn't the version used in game. The one used in game wears a hoodie. Here's all of Gil Bates' transformations at the end of the game. Some kind of weird brain larva thing that you fight. Why? Again, so you notice how... Look,
This is not blurry. Pay attention. Do you notice that being blurry? No, that is crisp. Oh, and that one's got a little white thing. Mental note. Alright. Flying brain has white dot underside view. The way I'm going to fix these, I'm just going to paint the background red and use that to pick out where the white spots are located. That's be the smartest way to do. Alright. Look. Yeah, I already made a mill note of that guy. So this one's not as blurry. Well, no, it is blurry now. I scroll. I don't understand that. This is like the worst photo viewing program I've used in my entire life. The one on my this laptop's from 2008. Had somewhat new drivers put in here, like cards, and like graphic cards and processors stuck in it in 2015, but they're not as good as the ones in my PC. It doesn't display things like this. So these are all the various types of drones. This isn't used anymore. I changed them to that. I think that's a way cooler design. I think things look a little more intimidating when you can't see their eyes, which is why I'm not using that one anymore either. Instead, he looks like that. It's kind of cute though. I actually kind of want one for a pet and feed it peanuts or something. Alright, there's not many of these guys in the game. You only find them in 2 spots in the game, but they're kind of a parody of metal slimes. And they do, yes, they grant you gobs and gobs and gobs of experience, but they're extremely rare, and just like the ones in Dragon Quest, they run away more often than not, and once they run away the first time, they don't come back. They're gone forever. So your chances of actually beating one of these guys is pretty slim, unless you fight the version in the, I think it's the Bates Mansion. You fight a group of them, and then you kind of have a chance. Plus these guys got a little joint in their mouth. These are stoned metal slimes. Kind of a face-hugger version of the incubi, which are kind of based off the alien. And well, here's a robotic version of these incubi. These are Gilbait's personal drones. Here's some of the spirit entities you fight in the spirit dream. And yes, I'm aware of the red dot. I already made a note of it. Doesn't that guy look like Boognish a little bit? Am I going to get sued for doing that? I mean, he doesn't look exactly like him. Maybe I took some liberties, I hope. Oh, these red ones down here. I actually had a dream about these things. They tried to attack me in my dream. I killed them with a Kamehameha wave, though. Oh, and there's those fly things again. They've been repurposed as spirit entities. Keiko demon-inspired creature. These things are in the sub-basement of the Bates Mansion, and it's hidden. It's not easy to find. That's because most of the best weapons are down there. That's where his scientists work. They work down there. They make all of his best weapons, and one of them is actually this creature, and it's such a powerful creature, it's stronger than the final boss, so they have him all locked up in a cell with all the other high-tech technology. So if you want to get the best stuff in the game, you have to go into that jail cell and avoid every single one of them. You have to avoid them. You can't, I mean, you might be able to win, possibly, if you get extremely lucky, but it's not likely. Most likely you're going to get a game over. You're going to get pissed off. Don't throw your controller. I'm not replacing it for you. Some kind of skinless dog with a nail through its butt. Some kind of start. You just see that? What was it called? Spice mine or something like that. It happens on another planet, but there's these weird creatures that have these brush tentacles. These are kind of based off of that in a way. These are mysodyslopsias. Mysodyslopsia is a condition where your retina separates from the back of your eye, so you get these eye floaters that you see floating around inside your eye. And because these are floating eyes, I thought that was a really cool name for them. Mysodyslopsia. Here's another beach creature. It's a jellyfish thing. This isn't used in game, but this version is. You fight these guys in Saturn's cube. Biomech. Sort of a combination of 2 other designs. Why did it go back if I pushed forward? There's a drone, but it's coated in skin. Fight these guys pretty early in the game. They're not too difficult. And why did it do that? I didn't push any button anywhere. Bill Gates, you and your most terrible programmers in the world. Fight these guys near the beginning of the game. Don't shrink this time. And why is this fucking blurry? Previous image wasn't. More drone. Come on. What the fuck? This is the glitchiest program ever. Some weird creatures you fight outside of the mansion, and they're grown-up versions. Pay no attention to the hole in their head, kids. It does not specify their gender. We're all the old of one gender. Oh, by the way, so you remember the mechs from Final Fantasy VI? That's how I designed these. I just literally copy and pasted one of their designs, and then I modified it to be this creature with skin. I mean, you can tell by looking at the claws, especially the way their legs down here look. They're definitely the Magitech armors from Final Fantasy VI. Don't sue me, Square. I'm not finishing that. That's not important. These gut creatures made of stomach, liver, and heart, and pancreas, and lungs. This is Shit's a Knife Bird. Alright, now we're into the Saturnalian enemies. You fight all these guys in the cube. There's actually a baby Saturnalian creature inside of its club fist. If you beat it, the baby comes out, and then the baby starts chasing you around. There's a Butterball-inspired guy. And why is this one blurry? So this is actually the Shapeshifter. To save on time, instead of having a whole bunch of overworld enemies animated, I made just this Shapeshifter creature where basically, once you start fighting it, it can change into one of 4 other creatures, which you won't see in this video because they're not a character asset, they're a battler asset instead. Sort of a pinhead-based guy. This is actually what the baby becomes once it falls out of the club arm. That's not being used anymore. This guy's being used. This is Gilbait's ultimate drone. He doesn't have too many of them. They're really expensive to build, but I wanted an excuse to have a dragon in my game, but since my game's set in modern times, I had to come up with a more believable and realistic way of doing that. So I'm like, okay, robot dragon. There we go. Problem solved, my friends. Alright, continuing on. Oh, so remember those little triangular diamond creatures with the eye inside of it? This is what I used to replace them, sort of this like Metroid ripoff. Good lord, this program is fucking broken. I should just download a program that isn't. Oh, these are from the sex hell dream, and so is this next one. Yeah, I shouldn't have to say anything there. Alright, there's that sketch dream I told you about. So this is like this is the main character. This is like a character he created when he was a kid. So when he's in this sketch dream, this is one of the first things he encounters, and he thinks he's going to be all friendly towards him, but no, he's kind of psychologically abusive towards him instead, and hopefully messes with the player's mind a little bit. Of course, there's a sketch version of the Incubi, and yeah, look, how did I fuck that up so bad? And it's because the color value for white, or at least the transparency version of white's 255. So this must have been just slightly below it, because I would have noticed that if it was any lower than that in value. So yeah, I gotta fix that. So the Gilbait's mansion sits on top of his great-great-great-great-grandpa's castle, which you have to explore it too. But yeah, you got these things. Gilbait's is kind of a crazy nut. He's actually coated the inside of that castle's walls with human skin and flesh. It's all stapled and stitched together, and then he invented these weird cyborg skulls that patrol around there. All made of human skin out of people he tortured and killed and blah blah blah. He's a nutcase. Some weird slime things. I don't know what that is, but you do fight them. It's not a plant, it's not a toad. It almost looks like it's machine. Maybe it is, maybe it is. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you, buddy. It's just a weird looking creature. This one's been omitted from the game. These guys used to be on the beach, and I don't know. I fell out of love with the design once I come up with other ones. Come on. Why did you do that? This is actually one of my favorite ones. These flying scorpion crab things with 3 eyes. Fight these guys near the beach. Giant viruses. Pretty cool. Yeah, I'm aware of these little dots here. I already made a mental note of them. Slime mushroom things. And in the city, you got some people who have been skinned alive wandering around, and they crave human flesh. So they've been infected by a very particular virus. They were injected with the vaccine, and that's what happened to them. Tumbleweeds. I thought about having a Saturn version of this. Fuck off! I didn't push any button. Screw it. All right. So I've told you about the video game dream sequence. This is one of the monsters you fight here, obviously based off of Pac-Man ghosts. Space invaders. Fucking goddamn. Space fucking invaders. Jesus Christ, why does it keep doing stupid stuff like that? I'm going to write an angry letter to Microsoft. I'm going to tell them to fix this goddamn bullshit. You want money from me? You frickin' earn it by making something good. And that's how you all should be, too. That's exactly. Anytime a company screws you, you buy something that breaks down within a month or a year. No, write them an angry letter that's intended to explode. Be a Dr. Hunter S. Thompson. You know, he never got fucked. And that's because every time he felt he was ripped off, he wrote a company an extremely angry letter and called him out on it. It's what every American should do. In fact, it's what everyone on the planet Earth should do. All right, I shouldn't even have to say that. Become proactive. I do. I get ripped off. I fucking write letters. I usually get my way, too. Except with my Twitter appeal. Here's a Johnny 5 ripoff. He's got a phallic cannon. In fact, after you damage him, that's actually the only cannon that's left, and it's the most dangerous one. So the final phase of fighting those things is the most dangerous. This is blurry for some stupid reason. These are little worms that crawl around inside the Saturn's cube. Some kind of weird bat creatures. Lesser weird bat creatures. These guys are one of the first enemies you fight in game, actually. Oh, there's that crystal enemy I told you about, but that one's been omitted. I didn't think it fit in with everything else. Alright, so here's... I think Michael Bay needs to pay attention. I think this is a way cooler crane design than probably what he could come up with. But he probably doesn't design anything. He probably just makes money. Make it to the suburbs where Peace Wave lives. Got all these chickens roaming around. And actually, once people escape from the HEMA camp, because there's no other food. All the grocery stores have been like destroyed. I mean, all the places have been looted. There's like, you can't go to the store and buy chicken. Money's useless. So people start experimenting with killing these chickens and eating them, and it turns out they taste like pork. Here's a crazy lady. So near the beginning of the game, and this kind of partially comes from playing Undertale. I don't want to fully implement the idea. I felt with the Saturnalian creatures and like the military and police people, because they've been brainwashed, they're not human anymore, so there's no need to attempt to spare them. But as far as the people who are normal, like citizens, and they're just trying to survive, the player should be given an option to spare them in some way. And if you do, you actually get more respect points for doing so versus killing them, which doesn't give you any. In fact, it subtracts respect points if you kill them. So yeah, don't kill the crazy lady. She might be crazy, but robot dog from the school. Robot dragon's here twice for some reason. I don't know why that is. Stereotypical demon. Children, stay away from this fucking guy here. Holy smokes, this guy is... You probably can't kill him. He's another one of those super enemies I threw in there for the sole purpose for the player just to learn the importance of avoiding enemies. You can't take them all on, and this guy, even with a full party, I mean, you might be able to beat him, and you'll get good experience if you do, but probably not worth it, because the experience points aren't as worth as much as they are in other RPGs. They mostly increase your psychic abilities, kind of catfish turtle thing. There's another version of that weird plant frog thing. I didn't really like these little whatever those are supposed to be, so I changed it. This thing's called Looks Like Shit. It looks like shit. There's kind of a Doom type enemy. This looks like it fit right in with Doom too, honestly. Well, what's up with that freaking face mask being connected to that part of his body? I mean, he's just like recycling his own nutrients. That's kind of gross. Here's the boss from early in the game. You fight this thing in the sewer. You have to fight it in order to cross the water in the sewer to get to the ladder on the other side. Why does it do that? This was originally the Incuboros boss. Originally you fought this guy to save Poppy from the mansion, but I came up with a better design.
I'm like, well, I went through the trouble of designing this guy. Where am I going to put him? So I stuck him on the beach. Not the beach specifically, but there's a cave on the beach you can explore. Find these guys in the forest outside of the school. This is part of the sex dream, so this is your love interest, but it's a snake version of her, and yeah, she's naked. Okay, not safe for work, people. Nanomachine colony. Oh, fuck off! I pushed the fucking arrow. Nanomachine colony. There's kind of another Metroid-inspired creature, except the inside is a cyborg with 3 eyes. See, why does it do that? I only clicked 1 time. Why does it automatically go back? We all gotta put our money together. We gotta do a GoFundMe where I use the money and I sue Microsoft, Bezos, Bill Gates, and all those fucking piles of crap. Because their stuff is crap. Shoot, my mom, everything she orders from Amazon, like 50% of the time it comes from China and it doesn't even do the thing it was advertised to do, or it breaks, or it's made super cheap. Come on, people. We are having crimes committed against us. So these are the incubi. This is the most common creature. They're the most common Saturnalian being that's currently on Earth. Designed kind of after the aliens from Alien, but fight a lot of those guys. Here's a drone that goes underground. Here's a spungaloid demon thing with a nail up its butt. Here's a snake with a bunch of nails in it. The whole Saturnalian philosophy is pain and suffering leads to spiritual completion. That's why all these Saturnalian creatures always have like staples or nails or, you know, things about them that look like it might be painful. Here's another one of these citizen fights where you can spare this guy, you get respect points for doing it. This thing's kind of inspired by Frieza a little bit. Doesn't that kind of look like his third form, but just like, it's like a deformed version of it? Jesus Christ. But making me swear so much, I wouldn't swear at all. So these are like spungaloids, but they only have 1 eye. These are Saturnalian cows. This is what they eat on Saturn. They eat these things. That's their hamburger. Here's a boss from the... Once you escape the school, Gil Bates basically unleashes his entire drone army onto the city, and you realize it's probably not too safe to be traveling above ground, but you find a place where you can travel underground, and you enter this, there's like this advanced society that's buried under there, and this frickin' dude's just chilling out down there. Yep. This enemy has been omitted and replaced with this one. This is a color-changing enemy. It's called a moody wisp, and the more angry you make it, the more powerful it becomes. Hey, hey, wolf! Made into my game. Here's a guy you can find in the suburbs if you explore thoroughly enough, and he offers to heal you, but it's a deception. He ends up turning on you for no apparent reason. Don't talk to them, kids. These creatures are when I was a kid, like in the 3rd grade, I'd be in a class where I pretty much already read the textbook. I already knew everything the teacher was going to talk about, so I didn't pay attention to the teacher. I just drew in my notebook, and I drew endless armies of different creatures that had like chainsaws for arms or guns for arms, and you know, all of that. And this guy's kind of a throwback to that. Oh, and that's the last one. Hey, you know what? I think we made it to the end of our video. Yep, not unless you want to see some gore. You want to see some gore, people? The beginning of the game, since all the Saturnalian creatures are turned loose onto Earth cities and they're ripping people to shreds, you see all sorts of these dead bodies everywhere. Dead bodies everywhere! Well, not that one, obviously. I think there's a dead dog and a dead bird down there, I guess. Dead squirrel, yeah. This is an incomplete asset. I'll have to work on it at some point. Why does it keep shrinking? Why does it sometimes shrink and sometimes not? I'm pushing on the same spot on the screen. You've been watching, right? Please take my side on this. Yeah, some more. It's just like legs. They've been charred body. Okay, yeah, well, looks like we're done.
I don't even know how long this video is. I didn't mean to take that long. Well, you know, we can take it. Here's the bus. The love bus. This is the bus you use to escape from the city, and even though it's called the love bus, you ironically run over a whole mess of soldiers and freaking squash them, turn them into paste. Yeah, I know. It's kind of ironic now, isn't it? FBI van, when you fight the FBI van boss fight. Yeah, well, I'm looking at this and like, you know, I think we went through everything here. I mean, these are all just the overworld assets I made for the NPCs for my game. And yeah, all the enemies in my game, except for one section, they do appear on screen. You can dodge them. And it's actually better just to dodge them. You don't want to waste your ammo on most of these creatures because they're not going to give you experience. I put it in there only because I figured someone at some point is going to complain that, why don't you have an experience system in your game? So I decided to implement it, but make it to where it doesn't make that huge of a difference. Theoretically, as long as you get all the tinctures and you get all your chakras unlocked for the final boss battle, you don't need all that. You could probably beat the game at level 10 if you wanted to, because you get a chakra power called the crown chakra, where you open up your connection to God and it doubles all of your stats instantly. In fact, it's the only way to beat the final boss. So yeah, I said, well, what's I going to say? Twitter people, I miss you. I miss you so much. I've made 3 appeals. They've denied the first 2. I'm still waiting on something from the third. I don't know if they're going to reinstate my account. Probably not. All I basically did was thank Elon for wasting my time, and then I made a tweet where I basically proclaimed that I don't have any respect for the billionaire class. Neither should you, because they can't be billionaires without you being poor. Did I say enough? Please don't shut down my YouTube channel. All I did was tell an indisputed truth. This is Brandon signing off. Thanks for watching my video. Thanks for enjoying my pixel art. I love you all. Even the billionaires. I just want you to pull your heads out of your butt. That's all you gotta do, buddy. Anyways, thanks for watching. Take care.